Developer and businessman Rick Caruso discussing the one-year anniversary of the LA wildfires, the recovery, and also the big question, his political future. And we all know how LA traffic can be. We're not going to let that get in the way of our planned conversation. So instead of joining us from his office, Rick joining us now from the road. Rick, great to have you back on the show. Clearly, you are on the move in Los Angeles. We appreciate you giving us some time to mark this 1 year since the deadly and devastating fires in Los Angeles. So just tell me what this year has been like in terms of the rebuilds, accountability, the reports that have been released. How do you summarize all of that?
Well, overall, it's been a very tough year for a lot of people. And, you know, the year starting out with the widespread devastation of these three communities and lives lost, homes lost, jobs lost. So I don't know of another natural disaster that had, certainly on the West Coast, the level of impact that this has had in terms of the scale and scope and depth of it. What's made it, I think, more complicated and disheartening for people is now the revelation that the fire was easily preventable in the Palisades. Had the city been properly prepared, had the fire department done what it should have done, which is stayed at the original fire location from January 1. And on top of that, made sure that fire was out, but also it pre-deployed. So, you know, there's a lot of mixed emotions, but I also see a lot of promise and hope. And, you know, I did a little posting the other day, and one of the lines I put in there, which I really believe is, it's not the politicians, but it's the people that are going to bring these communities back, because there's so much love and commitment to rebuilding and getting back to their communities that, in spite of the incompetency we've seen in the government, they're going to push this forward. So I'm optimistic that these communities will come back.
If you could snap your fingers right now, if you could have one, ask that could come to fruition, what would it be?
That the city and the county and the state all align and put a priority of getting people moved back in their communities and getting the jobs back in these communities. The economic impact to the whole city is massive, and the county. So it's not just about the Palisades or Altadena, but when you think about it, you've got thousands and thousands of homes that are not on the tax rolls. You've got thousands of jobs that have been lost and businesses that have been lost that would otherwise be paying taxes into the county and the city budget. So there's going to be a domino effect in terms of city services because of the shortage of funding coming in. So it's in everybody's interest. But there's got to be this attitude that we're going to remove every ounce of friction that government has, whatever the bureaucracy is, whatever the red tape is. We're actually going to do everything we can to make it easy for people to get back into their community and reopen their businesses.
Legislature's back in session. I know you talked about city and county. You mentioned state in there. Do you have an ask of Sacramento?
Well, you know, Sacramento, I think they did a lot of good things. I mean, I think Gavin did a lot of good things early on with the executive order on waiving things. But I think all of those things should be looked at in the moment of time we're in now. What else can be done to help? And certainly one of the areas that we really got a problem for a lot of people is insurance. And the insurance that's controlled by the state of California needs to pay out quicker and pay out fully because most people's insurance in terms of temporary rental has run out after a year. So they're either forced to move back into a home that hasn't been remediated because the insurance company is maybe challenging the remediation cost, or they're homeless. So we shouldn't be putting people into that position. And the state needs to take the lead to make sure our own insurance programs controlled by the state paid out, like I said, very quickly and robustly, and not be challenging homeowners who have lost everything.
I know you're on the ground a lot, too, in Palisades, Malibu, Altadena. Is that the number one thing you're hearing from people, is the insurance?
Insurance is a challenge, and just the permitting. the permitting is taking too long. Now, we at Steadfast, we developed that AI model. We delivered it, gave it to the county and the city.